Hi there, I'm that girl who games, and I'm here today to talk to you about Atlus's newest release, Catherine. It's available on PS3 and Xbox 360 as of last Tuesday. And cool thing for purchases of the standard edition of the game, they have this little art book packed in the back of it. It has some concept art from the game, some dev discussion, as well as a CD soundtrack for the game. So that's a nice little incentive for buying new if you're thinking about purchasing this game. This game has been described as a puzzle platformer dating sim. It's unlike anything I've really played before, and I think people are really going to have a love-hate relationship with this game. For instance, if you're the kind of person that likes to stick to shooters and beat-em-ups, don't play this game. It is really not for you. But if you're the kind of person that really likes great story and sort of freaky plot twists and fantastic, challenging puzzles, absolutely try this out. The premise of this game came from, as per an interview with the dev that I read, from the social problem that they're experiencing in Japan and also in North America, but he was speaking as a Japanese developer, of men who like to date women for a prolonged period of time and not commit to them, and the social issues that causes as far as population growth and a lack of human resources in the country. So this game centers around 32-year-old protagonist Vincent. He has been dating his girlfriend Catherine for about 5 years, and he's having trouble committing, and she wants him to get married. And so what happens is he meets this other blonde floozy named Catherine with a C, his girlfriend is with a K, and they begin having an affair. While this is going on in Vincent's waking life, he's having these terrible nightmares every night in which he has to climb these huge towers by building paths out of blocks. This is the crux of the gameplay for the game, these block tower puzzles. Now, they are the same kind of puzzle every nightmare sequence that Vincent has, but they do add in different varieties of blocks. They have exploding blocks, and ice blocks, and spring blocks, and monster blocks, and trap blocks, all kinds of different blocks that keep a variety in these puzzles. They do get progressively more difficult, and probably the only time I'll ever recommend this to you, but do start this game on easy, unless you want to get really angry at your controller and have a lot of issues with throwing it against the wall, because these puzzles are hard. I know in easy mode it says it's just for enjoying the story, but they are quite challenging. They start off the first couple nights very, very simple and get much more difficult very quickly, particularly for the stages when you're being chased by nightmare creatures, which have fantastic designs and are very, very creepy and shriek at you and make the puzzling aspect much more unsettling. So because these are the same kind of puzzles every night, you have to really enjoy them. I myself found them quite challenging and very rewarding when you figure out the solution, particularly if you go into a higher difficulty where you can't undo moves. So I did enjoy these. I did, however, play this game in sort of little parceled out bits because I found that once I solved like 4 or 5 puzzles, I was kind of done for that playthrough session, and then I would come back at a later time and get right back into it again. The cool things with these puzzles is that they do have online leaderboards for scores. You can get higher scores by collecting various items while you're climbing up the puzzle, and you can unlock a mode that's straight puzzles, and you can try to improve your score that way. And you can always check your scores on your cell phone that you have during the game. So after these puzzle sequences, you go and see part of Vincent's regular life, where he interacts. Primarily it takes place at a bar where he interacts with his friends and other people in the community, and Vincent can go around and talk to these people, and it changes the little morality meter for him that he has. Or morality, perhaps more just moral or internal compass. And however you respond to questions you might be asked by people determines how Vincent reacts in various cutscenes that play out for you. The meter pops up, and he responds differently depending on what you've told people. These questions can be obvious in answers, such as, is marriage the beginning or end of life? Or they can be not so obvious in the way they're going to cause you to react in, would you rather be a cat or a dog? So it's kind of a neat variety in that way. Unfortunately, I am still just finishing up my very first playthrough, so I don't know how much that will change the plot, but we have been promised in this game that the plot will change based on those decisions you make, and based on the number of times that meter pops up to indicate that a cutscene's being affected, I would say that the story can go fairly differently depending on what you've done, and there are some fairly drastic changes that can take place in the story depending on how Vincent feels about the people he's interacted with based on the decisions you've made. The art in this game, as I said in my anticipation video, is really, really beautiful. It's been done with an anime studio, and the anime cutscenes are great looking, and they do feed very nicely into the CG sequences where you're able to move Vincent around a little bit and determine his decisions on your own. I would, however, say that if you don't enjoy watching cutscenes, then I would not recommend this game. There was a time yesterday, actually last night, that I watched 20 minutes without ever interacting with the game. So if you're not big on cutscenes, if you normally skip them in games, then this probably isn't something for you unless you just want to play strictly in the puzzle mode. The music as well for this game is nice. It's mostly classical scores that have been remastered. The developers tried to include sort of a cathedral kind of theme in here with some Christian imagery, biblical undertones. I don't know how much that comes across. For me, it wasn't that strong, but the classical music sort of is supposed to reinforce that idea of a beautiful cathedral that you're trying to attain at the end of these trials that you're facing every night. And I think it works out really well. They do have some instances where they sort of layer J-pop in there, and it comes off a little weird for me, but overall it was a really nice experience. So this game had great plot twists, it had great art, really challenging puzzles, make you think, give you a great sense of accomplishment. So I would recommend it on those merits. The story is a lot of fun. It had some twists I wasn't expecting, and some I was, and I look forward to playing through it again and changing my Vincent's responses. There are some online leaderboards, as I said, and also some other online components where you can see how other people have answered some of the questions throughout the game and how those responses vary based on gender. It's kind of cool just to see that kind of thing. I found myself bringing up a lot of them with friends, just talking about it. I'm like, do you know what Catherine told me the other day? 70% of men cheat. It's so crazy. And then you can accuse your friends of things. It's fun. But I'm going to go now and play some more. I want to see how my story ends. I'm right at the last couple of levels here. I've had some big cutscenes, some big exciting things going on. So try it out. If you're not sure if you're going to like it, this may be one that I would say rent first, because again, it is a very different experience. But if you're a gamer who just likes to try new things, this is absolutely something new. It's something fun, and it is a great puzzle game with a fantastic story that you can interact with. So again, Catherine from Atlus, developed by Atlus, which is exciting too. I'm going to go play some more, and next week I will have a retro review for you. Have a great day. Bye.